Yeah, I
I
don't
don't,
know.
not really sure what he's talking about. He's made a lot of different claims, so I don't really know where to start.
No, exactly right.
Well,
He made a whole lot
Yahweh
of.
was a tribal god.
Yeah, but
In the universe with
what
us, there
does
were other
Greek
gods.
what does
Oh, okay.
Greek pagan
Want to talk?
philosophy have to do with Islam?
The conception of an all-powerful God that nothing is contingent on is a Greek idea.
And nothing is contingent on? What do you mean?
We know like the whole chain of contingency. It goes on and on and on forever, and it stops with God. And if you interrogate that idea any further, it's a heresy, right? Because
What's
God, nothing
heretical?
created God, right?
Talking
He's
about the contingency.
the
What's
first cause.
heretical about it? What do you mean? What if you interrogate it further? It's heretical.
If you go, what caused God? That's heretical, right? You can't ask what caused God.
It's not heretical to ask. It's just a stupid question because we already understand the
Stupid.
concept of God
So it's
is that
stupid
He's
to follow
eternal.
a
He's not.
logical chain of reasoning. It's
He's
stupid
he's
to you.
he's No, it's not logical. You're asking what created God. God is by definition uncreated.
Oh. Well, Bertrand Russell would say it's absurd not to just keep following the chain further. Like what logically limits that?
You're moving all over the place. You're moving
Not
all
really.
over the place. Yeah. Before you were talking about Neoplatonism and the ancient Greeks, and then you went to Yahweh in the Old Testament. And now you're back over here talking about Bertrand Russell. You're just all over the place, man.
Is it confusing for you?
No, no, not really confusing. I
Well,
just think the way you're
it's all
trying to have a
related to me. It's
conversation
all
is
just like, you know,
ridiculous. You seem a bit scatterbrained.
yeah, well, I like the gaslighting approach is always funny with religious people.
There's no gaslighting, bro. The point is
You want me to feel stupid? You want me to
you're
feel
claiming
confused? And you want me to feel like I can't reason, which is, to get your
no,
way. And
I'm just
you're going to
saying
convert
I'm just
me,
explaining to
but I'm
you
going to
how
believe in
every
your God if you make me feel stupid enough. This is your
no,
approach.
no, it's nothing to do with that. It's the point that you're up here and you're rambling on and you're not making sense. And
Well, would you like to ramble on about
I'm
something? Why don't you
explaining to
ramble for a
you,
while? Go
I'm
ahead.
explaining to you that nobody understands what you're talking about because you're just rambling on and trying to link concepts together that have nothing to do with each other. So back to the original point, you said that you don't even understand who Allah is from the Qur'an. You read one chapter, you don't understand it. So how would you know
I said I
whether or not
read five chapters.
how would you
I said I read
know
five chapters, not one
how
chapter.
would you know whether or not Islam was
Do you accept
influenced by
my
how
correction?
would you know whether or not Islam was influenced if you don't even understand our concept of God?
So, what am I supposed to be getting from these first five chapters I've read? I don't understand.
No, you're claiming that there's influence without even knowing what our concept of God is. In order to claim that there's influence, you have to understand the Greek concept, which you're claiming is influencing the Islamic concept, and understand our concept of God, and then show that there's an influence. If you don't understand both of them, then how could you claim there's influence?
Where do you think it came from?
No, I asked you a simple question. If you cannot understand what the Islamic conception of God is, how could you claim there's influence or not? You wouldn't be able to claim anything.
It's a very valid point.
And how do I find this out? This Muslim concept of God.
Dude, are you understanding the question I'm asking? Because you're not responding.
I'm saying if I don't know the original concept, how could I judge what a counterfeit is?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you need to understand both. You, by your own admission,
So
just a
explain
couple
it to me
minutes
then, so
ago.
I understand.
No, no. Here's the point, sir. You, by your own admission, a couple minutes ago, said when you were asked about the Islamic conception of God, you said you don't know because you don't understand what's happening in the first chapters you read. So, how could you claim an influence on something about a subject which you don't understand yet? Why don't you just ask questions instead of making claims that there's influence on a concept you, by your own admission, say you don't understand?
So I think I understand it.
Okay, now you understand. So go ahead and explain it.
You want me to explain to you what God is? The prime mover. That's
Now I
it.
want you to explain what the concept of God is in Islam, what we believe. Go ahead.
He's the creator of the universe, the thing that has no contingency. That's it.
That's it. There's nothing else.
Not really.
Not really. Okay. And so any religion that claims that God is a creator of the universe and he's not a contingent being, that means by necessity that it was influenced by the Greeks?
Not necessarily, but the Greek influence on the world was already established by the time Muhammad was around.
Okay, so not necessarily. So that means those 2 points are not sufficient in order to establish your conclusion that there was influence. So what else is needed to establish the conclusion that there was influence from the Greeks?
That's it. There was enough.
You just said it wasn't sufficient. You just said it wasn't.
I'm saying it's possible to come up with that conception of God without it, but
Okay, therefore, it's possible to come up with the conception without it. So you haven't
right.
established that it's necessarily influenced.
But it was influenced by Judaism and Christianity. So I mean, why wouldn't you throw the Greeks in there too?
Okay,
Since
now we're moving. Now we're moving
that's
to a
how history
different point.
works.
Now we're moving to a
Was
different
Muhammad
point.
aware of
Yeah.
Jewish of the
Okay.
Torah
Okay. Listen.
and the
Listen.
Bible before?
Come on, man. We see what's going on here now because you can't establish the Greeks. Now you move on very quickly to all right, but at least he was influenced by the Jews or Judaism and Christianity. So now you want to shift to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead. Since you couldn't get the first one down, let's move to the second one. So establish how there was influence from Judaism and Christianity. Go ahead.
Wait, what are you asking me to do? Establish that there's
You made a claim of Greek pagan influence. You haven't been able to establish that. Now you're saying, well, at the very
right.
least, it's true that he was influenced by Judaism and Christianity.
You read
Now I'm
Plotinus,
asking
right?
you.
Have you ever
Now,
read Plotinus, the Enneads?
yeah, I have.
You have. Okay. What did that tell you?
About what? It's about Islam?
Are you like hinging your whole argument on this on me being wrong about this? Is what you're doing?
No, I'm not. I'm just knocking down one silly thing you say at a time.
Sorry, one second.
Anyway, your claim was that, and you talked about Plotinus. What does Plotinus have to do with Islam and what we believe? Do you know what Plotinus taught about God?
Yeah, I actually like his cosmology a lot.
Okay.
It's very beautiful. I think the Christians corrupted it.
Okay, and do you think that we, the people on the stage, us Muslims, we believe in Plotinus's cosmology?
It's more the Trinity, which you guys don't follow. So no.
Okay, but you were originally claiming influence from Plotinus on Islam and what we believe.
Sort of indirectly, like
Now you're moving it to the Trinity, man.
well, early Christianity, like first century Christianity, was hugely
Okay, I
influential.
agree. Plotinus had influence on the Trinity. What in the world does the
I mean,
Trinity and
consider that
Plotinus?
Origen, the first Christian theologian of any importance, was a Neoplatonist. Saint Augustine was a Neoplatonist.
I'm not
I mean,
disputing that.
right, right,
I'm
and
saying to you is you claim Plotinus influence on what
so
we believe,
the
our
Islam
concept of God.
was not influenced by Christianity at all. Is that what you're saying?
Dude, can you focus? I'm focusing on Plotinus now. You said he had
Right.
influence on the Trinity. Fine. What does that have to do with him influencing Islam? We reject the Trinity.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like a bit strange, man. It's really not going so well, this conversation.
How would it be going well? What would the outcome be?
I mean, if you actually were able to put together coherent thoughts and sentences instead of jumping all over the place, and then when you're showing you're wrong, you just jump to something else. It's just all over the place.
It's kind of like reading a religious text, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you're either playing games or just wasting time. I don't know what the deal is. Are you an atheist, sir?
I don't know. I don't like being called an atheist.
Yeah, he's an atheist.
No, I just want to hear it from him. Are you an atheist, sir? Do you believe in a God, or do you believe there's no God?
I don't want to like shoehorn myself into that definition on your terms.
I'm
'cause
just
I don't think you really.
I'm just
I don't
asking
really
you a
trust
simple
you as
question.
I don't really find you as a trustworthy person. So
Why? Why am I not trustworthy?
because you seem to be like manipulative and gaslighting and sort of just petty.
How am I manipulating you?
You're not manipulating me, but I'm
Then
sure you'd like to if you could.
no, I wouldn't. I would just like to have a conversation that makes sense, but you're not making any.
How would I make sense on this topic? Like, it's not
Are
a
you an
logical topic.
atheist or not, sir?
I don't need to answer your questions.
You don't? So what are you here for?
I'm here to hear the Christians versus Muslim conversation. And
Okay,
Bob's
so
the
you
only
don't need to.
Christian on here.
So you
And you
don't
guys
need
don't
to.
think Bob's a Christian.
So you don't need to talk. Then you could just wait in the audience if you're just here to listen to it, right?
If you want to kick me down if I'm bothering you, you can do that. That's fine.
No, I'm just saying if you're not here to talk and answer questions, right? You're just
I
here
don't
to
need to
listen.
answer personal questions for you. We can talk about the subject.
Well,
What my belief system
usually on
is really none of your business because
well,
I don't
okay.
buy
So
into your particular interpretation of reality.
I
I'm
didn't ask.
sorry.
I'm sure you don't. That's why I asked what your interpretation is. Is that too personal
I'm
for
not
you?
superstitious. I'll put it that way.
So you don't
I
tell
don't.
whether or not you're an atheist on the first date, I guess. It's too personal. Listen, I don't know if you don't, maybe you're new to Clubhouse. On Clubhouse and these type of discussion forums, typically when you meet somebody, right, this is Muslims and Christians talking, okay? So we say, oh, hi, I'm Jake. I'm Muslim. Hi, my name is Bob. I'm Christian. What do you believe? And then we start talking about it. And we talk about where we agree, where we disagree. And that's how the discussion goes. If you're not here for that, I don't know what you're here for, sir.
Do I need to I don't know, justify myself to you?
No,
Are you
I'm
like
not
the
asking for a
gatekeeper of Clubhouse or
justification.
something?
I'm just asking you what your position is. If you're not here to talk
I'm
about it, you
not
just want to listen.
superstitious. I told you a bunch of times already.
Okay,
I'm
and I'm
not
not, and I'm
superstitious.
not,
I don't
and I'm
believe in supernatural things,
okay. I'm not
angels. I don't believe black cats are devils, all that
okay.
stuff. You can extrapolate from there. It's pretty easy.
I'm not superstitious either. I'm also not Christian, but that doesn't tell you that I'm a Muslim. So by telling me what you're not, it doesn't tell me what you are.
I find atheists to be a little bit militant. I don't like that word.
Okay, so you're like a soft atheist.
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, seems like you don't want to talk. It was nice talking to you, if you can call it that. I don't know. Have a nice day, sir.